Pre-recorded. This is the Red Ticket Blues podcast. I am Brian Buckley. This is being recorded on October 19th to hit the internets on October 20th. How's everybody doing? It's a busy week. You can always listen to the show on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube sometimes. You can follow me on Twitter at BrianBuck13 or at Red Ticket Blues. How's everybody doing? Like I said, second time. I wanted to make sure you are still awake. We have a lot to get through. Very busy show. Very busy show. We got MLB playoffs, NFL. We have FanDuel DraftKings. We have just so much going on. NBA. The Knicks are making news off the court, which is worse, off the court or on the court with the Knicks. I mean, either way, it's a travesty. But we're going to begin with the New York Mets as they have now a 2-0 lead on the Chicago Cubs in the NLCS. The Mets are 6 games away from winning the World Series. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but 6 games away. Now, when I did this podcast, I believe this is the July 29th podcast, if you look in your library, that I'm sure you all keep on your phone in meticulous order, chronological order, I should just say, all my podcasts, and you go over them all the time to make sure. It's like a library. If you remember this, did you ever think that the Mets would be in this position when you heard this?
I've been sobbing in the third inning before.
I want you to ask yourself one question. If you had 24 hours to live,
Henry Mejia gets 162-game drug ban.
that's a deep shit right there.
I don't know anything about what's going on. Not a word.
How would you handle it?
There is no trade.
Mace, what would you do?
I don't know.
I know the options
I'm
aren't
scared
good.
where I'm going. I mean, where am I going here?
You're looking for one out. Justin Upton to deep
Tell
right
me it's
center
not
field.
gone. It's
Oh,
gone.
my God. It's gone.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
This is like a bad movie.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
24 hours to live, just think. Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you screw? And who would you want to notify? Or would your ass deny that your ass about to die? You had 24 hours to live, just think. Where would you go?
Can you believe? I mean, Wilmer Flores was crying. The team was falling apart. You know, Sandy Alderson was making trades, and he wasn't making trades. Henry Mejia was getting suspended. The entire team was falling apart before our eyes. It was Young and the Restless on a baseball diamond. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I said, calm down, man. Calm down. You're only 3 games back. If you sweep the Nationals, you'll be tied. That's what they did. They swept the Nationals, and that's what they did. Now, I'm not going to act like that I thought the Mets would be in this position right now. You heard me say the whole time, let's see until they play some real competition, okay? Let's see that first. Let's see them go against real pitching and real hitting. Hey, they made a believer out of me. Their pitching has been amazing. I mean, Matt Harvey, for as much shit as I give him, when that guy's on the field, he usually delivers, and he delivered damn well the other night. And Noah Syndergaard, I mean, he looked like a stud the other night. I mean, the pitching they have, but you know what the problem is? The pitching they have now, they got to win. They got to win now because you know what? Those guys are going to want money. They don't have to win now, but they got to win soon. Because those guys are going to want money. But let's stay with this right now. Daniel Murphy. Where did this Daniel Murphy come from? The Daniel Murphy I remember was leaving the team to go deliver a baby and sitting outside of Planned Parenthood, and no, he didn't do that. But giving his thoughts on gay marriage. Now it's just him and Jesus. He's rolling with Jesus, and things are going good. I gotta start rolling with Jesus like Daniel Murphy does, because he's just hitting home runs. What's he got? Like 60 in his career. He's got 5 in the playoffs against bona fide, Cy Young contenders. It's insane. Daniel Murphy and that effortless little swing. And yes, he does the bat flip. And let me get into bat flips real quick, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Bat flips. Everyone loves bat flips. Now, I don't have an issue with the bat flip. I had the issue more with the standing there. Bat flips themselves are pretty stupid. And I know this conversation sort of died down. You're thinking, God, Brian, you missed the boat on this. No, I didn't miss the boat, because I'm going to tell you, it's my podcast, and I'm going to tell you about bat flips whenever the fuck I feel like it. Bat flips aren't the issue. Jose Bautista's was ridiculous, but I think the bigger issue is him just standing there. That's showing the opponent up. Oh, well, it makes the game more fun. What, you can't take a little fun? You still feel a white guy? No, let me tell you something. Let's say LeBron James, after every dunk, did a little coordinated dance Would that be okay? Because, hey, it makes the game more fun, guys. Come on. They do it in the NFL, and I can't defend them. They're animals there. What can I say? It's a different breed of human being that plays in the NFL. Come on. You have to admit that. But it's almost like sports now, and people are supporting it. It's like the beginning of basketball, where it shows the whole football team doing the choreographed dance, and that's the way everyone just accepts it now. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, I was going to say progressive, but I'm obviously not in that case. But anyways, they go up 2-0. They go to Wrigley tomorrow. Well, today it'll actually be. They go to Wrigley Tuesday to play Game 3. And Jacob deGrom versus, what the hell's that guy's name? Wentworth, I think his name is. I really don't know much about him at all. But congrats to the Mets so far. Now, listen, they're not there. And we know the Mets can do some dumb things. But they're, and you know what? Watching these games, their pitching is so dominant that I don't know if the Cubs are feeling this way, but I'm watching them hit. I'm thinking, they don't have a shot. They can't hit off Syndergaard. Harvey was mowing people down. They didn't have a shot. These guys that were hitting home runs like crazy against the Cardinals, the Rizzos, Schwarber did home run, but the Rizzos, the Chris Bryants, Starlin Castros, all these guys, all of a sudden they looked like they mere mortals. It was very, very. Their pitching. I mean, what else can I say? I know I'm repeating myself here, but their pitching is that dominant. We'll see what happens going forward. What else do I want to say about that series? The broadcasting in that series. You know, it's very easy to sit and criticize the national broadcast because they sort of parachute in every year, and they're not the people that you're used to. Now, Ron Darling does work for the Mets. He played for the Mets, so you are used to him. And I'll give him credit. He has not been a homer. Every once in a while, a little bit of homerish speak comes out, but for the most part, he's been pretty good. Ernie Johnson is good as the lion tamer in the TNT booth or studio there for the NBA between Charles Barkley and Shaq and the rest of the cast of characters, Kenny Smith. He's not a good play-by-play guy. He really isn't. There's not a lot of energy there. He's always referring to Cal Ripken as Iron Man. Like, I get that was his name, Iron Man, and talk about a horse's ass. Cal Ripken sucks, okay? That is a guy who can never be wrong. He's got a little Joe Morgan in him. Watch, you're going to see a fastball here. Breaking balls thrown. See, he wanted to throw a fastball, but in a situation like that, it's really difficult to throw a fastball, but he really wanted to in that situation. He's wrong about everything. He is not good. He is not good at all. That's my take. And what else about that series is annoying me? Oh, the politicians, and this happens all the time. We got the Chicago politicians and the New York politicians, and they're like, hey, let's have a rivalry, we'll wager stuff, our signature dishes. So now with Twitter, we're seeing that between de Blasio and Emmanuel Rahm. Say, I'll take that bet. Oh, well, excuse me, let's go to the beginning here. So Rahm Emanuel says, congrats, Bill de Blasio, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna donations of Lagunitas beer and Giordano's pizza. Okay, so 2 Chicago eateries and brewery, and de Blasio jumps in there. I'll take that bet, Chicago Mayor. On the line for me from Grimaldi's Pizza and from Gun Hill Brewery. Hashtag LGM. Hashtag Ron Blasio bet. Shut the fuck up. God. These politicians are such grandstanding assholes. Like, they give a shit about any of the sports going on. Like, hey, come on, we're just like you. We're people, right? Except we make decisions and lie and take all your money. And nothing infuriates me more. I surely shouldn't get that upset. And, of course, here's the inevitable thin crust versus deep dish, the great New York City-Chicago debate. I've had Chicago pizza. It's different. I don't even like to put it in the same class because it's not really pizza. It's like a pie, a literal pie, not the term pie. And what is this? Oh, the MTA and the CTA. Oh, the New York Mets, Almer, Chicago. Hey, care to make a friendly wager? A slice to the NLCS. How about a slice for every homer? Stop it. Is anyone sitting at home going, oh, what's really funny? Honey, listen. What's really funny? That mayor of New York and the mayor of Chicago, they're going to wager food and beer. Oh, that's so funny. Nobody. Maybe assholes, but not me. Moving on. Actually, no, let's stay in baseball because you got a little sneak peek of, we'll go to I'm all over the place. Blue Jays Royals, I haven't really seen a lot of the series. I have seen it, but I really don't have that much analysis. The Royals right now, as we do this podcast, are up 2-0 going to Toronto. Who knows if the Toronto fans will throw things on the field like they have before, which, and I don't want to get too crazy about that. The best game I was ever at was 1995, Game 2 of the ALDS Yankees-Mariners, and they threw tons of shit on the field after Mattingly hit that home run, and the place shook. So I can't get that angry. But I don't know. I'd like to see the Royals win. I don't think they get enough credit for coming back. I was going to look at some stats here to show you about the Royals from Grantland here, but this article, I said, Jesus, I mean, some of the articles in Grantland, they're just way too stat heavy. It's like speaking another language. All this, they're really into the sabermetric stuff. So I can't put it this way. I think the Royals will eventually win that series, especially with Troy Tulowitzki playing with an 8-year-old glove. Like, that's not funny. Like, I don't know why you think that's funny, like why you'd want to do that. Oh, it's tradition. It's superstition. It's asshole. You're making errors with your glove. There are holes in it. Grow up. Or I will like that and you'll break 7 bones. But staying in baseball, we got a little sneak preview of who is going to be in the studio for the World Series. That is Mr. Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez. And he made his debut, like I said, on the Sunday NFL, the Fox on NFL program. And he threw a pass and broke a window. So, broke a TV screen. So, good for him. And I've mentioned this before, I'm very, very concerned about grown men using the term Bayrod. Bayrod is something I expect a bunch of 20-something-year-old women at a bar all texting while sitting next to each other, drinking a Stoli and cranberry, and they go, Bayrod, yeah, retweet that, put it on Facebook, Bayrod. But there are men saying Bayrod. If you call yourself a man, I suggest you stop saying it. Look at yourself in the mirror and say Bayrod next time. I want you to try and do it. You won't be able to do it. Anyways, A-Rod will be on the set. And Fox, what do they care? I mean, Fox News is ridiculous. Now Fox Sports is, we bring in Alex Rodriguez, who's been banned for a year from the MLB for using steroids. You already got Pete Rose there. He's banned for life. Maybe we could dig up the corpse of Shoeless Joe Jackson and maybe the Simpson jury of the damned.
I give you the jury of the damned. Benedict Arnold, Lizzie Borden, Richard Nixon.
I think the 1976 Flyers are also in that jury of the damned. But, hey, maybe Alex Rodriguez. First, you've heard me bitch and moan about Alex Rodriguez, and it feels like I do it every week, even though I haven't. He's the transformation that he's done this year is absolutely amazing. Who knows if it's a facade? Who knows what it is? But he has changed people. I don't know about everybody. A lot of Yankee fans, I should say. I still think most of the country dislikes him, which I understand. But good job to Alex. So what can I say? He had a great year. He wasn't caught with any steroids yet, and he's made believers out of him. He's made fans where there were no fans before, or they were cheering his suspension. Now they're fans of him. Anyways, you've heard this song and dance from me before. Let's move on. Let's get to the NFL. All right, the NFL Week 6, and I keep forgetting to make my picks in the Thursday Talk podcast. We had Ethan from Gotham Sports on last week, and I will release the guest that will be on next week. It's something I'm very excited about. Well, I'm excited about all the guests, but you know what I mean. I was 2-3 last week. I didn't pick 3 games. I was 1-2 last week. So that brings the season to, let's see. That's 14-6. I ended up, so I tweeted it out from the Red Ticket Blues account. I took Cincinnati. I forget the actual spreads here, but we'll get into that as we're talking here. I don't want to waste too much time with this. So let's start. Thursday. The Falcons showed who they really were. Frauds. We all knew that anyways, though. So I didn't really want to get in that game. I think I was watching baseball at all. I think I was watching baseball, so I didn't really see any of that game whatsoever. So I'm not going to pretend like I did. So Cincinnati-Buffalo. This was one game. I did take Cincinnati in this game. I forget what the actual spread was, but while we're talking, I will find it. This was a game that, listen, Cincinnati's good. Okay, Buffalo took A.J. Green out of the game. All right, and Andy Dalton decided, hey, Marvin Jones is here. Hey, Tyler Eifert's here. Hey, Gianni Bernard. They were good. They were real good. And the Buffalo continues to have major injury problems. And they were talking about some having to, pick up some extra players to fill in those spots. But because they're playing in London next week, a lot of people may not have passports. Here's my thing. You're an NFL player and you're trying to make a team. Wouldn't you try to do that? How long have they been playing in London? You're going to miss an opportunity because you didn't have a passport? Like, is that really going to happen? Are you that stupid? I mean, I don't have a lot of faith. And I didn't pick Cincinnati last week. Boy, I ain't full of shit. So here's my picks. We put Washington +7. That's a loss. Minnesota -4. That's a win. And Tennessee -1.5, which was a brutal loss. So that is, 12-6. So my record is 12-6 on the season. So we're starting to come back to mediocrity. That's, I shouldn't have been bragging so much. That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't know shit, and then all of a sudden you start winning, and you can't keep your mouth shut. All right, so let's get on with this. Let's speed this up a little bit. Christ. So Cincinnati, Buffalo, 34-21. Cincinnati remains 6-0. Denver, speaking of 6-0, Denver is 6-0 as well. They're 26-23 winners over the Cleveland Browns. The defense continues to get it done. Peyton Manning, 26 for 48 with 290 yards. Ronnie Hillman, which I removed from my DraftKings to put in Shakandrick West, great move, had 111 yards. Josh McCown did not the same Josh McCown as last week, that's for sure, 213 yards. But the thing is, Peyton Manning is, it's getting a little rough to watch Peyton Manning. 290 yards, that's good. But we're at a point right now, he threw 3 interceptions. And he's got 10 on the year, 7 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And just to put that in perspective, in 2013, he had 10 interceptions. Right, 2014, he had 15. There are several years here where he's had 10 or less interceptions for the entire year. Okay? Just remember that. But they're winning. And Ronnie Hillman and Demaryius Thomas are telling you better back off our quarterback or there's going to be hell to pay. But they are 6-0 going into a bye week. They'll play Green Bay the week after, which should be their first real test. They have a pretty favorable schedule. Their conference sucks. So you never know. They could actually win a decent amount of games, and they played a lot of games on the road already. I don't know. You never know. I mean, maybe Peyton needs some rest. Well, he's had the whole offseason. Chicago, Detroit, 2 bad teams playing football, but I was going to say the worst one won, which doesn't really make any sense. Detroit with their first win of the year, 37-34 in overtime. Matthew Stafford played a hell of a game, 27 for 42, 405 yards. And Jay Cutler, honestly, he didn't play that bad either. 26 for 41 with 353 yards. He said they need to stop making mistakes in the red zone. Jay, stop throwing interceptions in the red zone. That'll help you. Big play in the end there to put it into overtime was the Golden Tate. No one knows what a catch is anymore, this is and what that is. I think it's very confusing, but they made the right call here. Sort of in the same Calvin Johnson's Des Bryant classification, if you want to say, but they made the right call here. And Detroit wins in overtime, so they win their first game of the year. Chicago 2-4, Detroit 1-5. And the other team in that division, well, the Packers are undefeated. We'll get to them. Minnesota took on Kansas City, the one game I actually won. And listen, the Chiefs are done. The Chiefs stink. They're done. No one wants to look at them anymore. They're bad. Shakandrick West. Shakandrick, we all wanted him on FanDuel, DraftKings. 9 rushes, 33 yards. Shakandrick, it's been real. Minnesota really didn't have any outstanding numbers to throw at you, but they did survive. They're now 3-2. So we got 3-2, 2-4, and 1-5 in the NFC North, and you got the Packers who are undefeated. Kansas City, again, they stink. Houston, Jacksonville, 2 sorry teams. Houston took care of business. It was 31-20. Jacksonville, a lot of issues there. Blake Bortles, 3 interceptions. He led the league in rushing and passing. But Houston won, 31-20, their second win of the year. We played the quarterback. Brian Hoyer was the quarterback. It's a quarterback roulette. Every once in a while, we'll see who goes out there. Brian Hoyer, not a bad game. 24 for 36, 293. Arian Foster, 53 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, 10 receptions with 148 yards. He is definitely loving the attention. Well, not the attention. Well, yeah, he's loving the attention. Different vernacular, I guess. The attention without Andre Johnson in the building. And Houston's now 2-4. Jacksonville 1-5. We got a lot of shitty teams. Washington. This is who I took +7 against the Jets. They were Is 14 points blown out? I don't know. The Jets, though, 4-1. Hello. Chris Ivory, 146 yards. Brandon Marshall continues to have a great year with the Jets, 111 yards. Washington smells. They smell bad. And Kirk Cousins is throwing a lot of interceptions, and he's throwing them... he's throwing them a lot. Alfred Morris, 21 yards. Christ almighty, he used to be good. But the Jets are 4-1, and they're going to have to keep pace if they want to... they play the Patriots next week, so that, well, hey, you're going to want to see that game. And let's see, Arizona continues to lose to odd teams. Pittsburgh beat them 25-13. Pittsburgh 4-2. It was Landry Jones coming in, and, well... he came in for the Michael Vick, who is eternally injured. Listen, Landry Jones, there's got to be something wrong with him in his background. It's the Steeler quarterback way. We got a rapist, dog eater. Yes, he eats dogs. So Landry Jones has got to do something. Maybe he's like a serial, pushes old women down the stairs, something like that. If you want to succeed on this team, or even be on the team to be in the quarterback, that's the things you got to do. Carson Palmer, 421 yards, but they couldn't get it done. Arizona, sometimes they just lay stinkers. Josh Brown, 196 yards. Wow. Or is it John Brown? It's always Jay Brown. I forget. Is it John Brown or Josh Brown? John Brown. Like John Brown's body. There we go. Okay. All right. So Arizona 4-2. Pittsburgh 4-2. Didn't really see that one coming. Pittsburgh 4-2. Honestly. Here's a game I got royally wrong. Miami and Tennessee. Miami blew them out 38-10. Marcus Mariota, the quarterback of Tennessee, took a hit to the knee area. They said it was a dirty hit. Yeah, possibly. But Miami took care of business. And, you got to start to think, when is Ken Wisenhunt going to lose his job?
I've known Wisenhunt a long time.
Yes, I understand that, but that's not going to help him. They're 3-18 in his tenure there. Enough's enough. I mean, he's got to be getting ready to be Carolina, Seattle, Carolina 5-0. There was a podcast I was listening to talking about Carolina. Now, the guy doing the podcast, he rips Cam Newton sometimes for being an immature jerk, but he also said Cam Newton was going to go to a different level of quarterback this year. And that guy is me. All right, I told you Carolina was going to be better this year. Again, I guess you could still make the case that they haven't really played anyone that tough. Granted, Seattle's 2-4. They played them in Seattle, though. That should mean something. 27-23, Carolina comes back. I think it was 23-14 they were down, and they come back and win this game. Cam Newton, 20 for 36, 269 yards. Greg Olsen, I mean, him and Cam Newton, they should just get married. They are inseparable. Those two sweethearts. I mean, they're just connected. Greg Olsen, 131 yards. G-Reg. All right. 7th floor crew. Russell Wilson, 241 yards. Marshawn Lynch in his return, 54 yards. Give Jimmy Graham, he started to look a lot better in the offense there. Give him some credit. 8 receptions for 140 yards. So, Carolina 5-0. What can you say? We'll go on from there. I'm not going to preview anything. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into, and I am already way past where I should be. So let's move this along. San Diego, Green Bay. Green Bay 27-20. Phillip Rivers 503 yards. A great game. Green Bay didn't look that good at all, but they still were able to pull it out. San Francisco, Baltimore. San Francisco used a lot of Joe Flacco's old weapons in Torrey Smith and Anquan Bolden to take care of business. Colin Kaepernick looked a lot better. 16 for 27, 340 yards. Is Joe Flacco elite? I don't know. We'll have to talk about this some other day. Not today. And New England, Indianapolis, I'm not going to lie. I saw the outrageous play, whatever that was, that fake punt. Guess it was some sort of trickery. That's kind of like running the picket fence in basketball, but we're going to put Muggsy Bogues at center. Something like that. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. But New England won, but I mean, not the way that myself and everyone else was predicting the shellacking to be. It was 34-27. They didn't even cover the spread. 34-27, right? Yeah, 4. I guess people said that. I thought it was 10 points. Everyone was talking about how they covered the spread. I don't know. Anyways, I don't care about that. Let's move on here. let's go to some basketball, huh? Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's wish some happy birthdays tonight. Let's wish some happy birthdays. Yes. Come on, sing along. This is for October 19th. Today's podcast being done. Happy birthday to Mordecai Three Finger Brown. He would have been 139 years young today. He also appeared on Mr. Burns' hypothetical softball team when he wanted to play the other nuclear plant in Shelbyville. So, but he didn't make it. Obviously, Mordecai Three Finger Brown. He's known for he lost it in a tractor incident. It's like in Seinfeld. Happy birthday to Leonard Little. He's 41 years old today. In 1998, Little was playing for the Rams, and he was drunk driving and killed Susan Gutweiler. He received 4 years probation, was suspended for 8 games. 8 games! And 1,000 hours of community service. So good for him. 8 games. Wow. And Ray Rice can't get a job anymore. This guy killed somebody. Yeah, good for him. All right, wow. 8 games. And happy birthday to Lionel Collins, the coach of the New Jersey Nets. He's 62 years old. He looks like a no-nonsense guy who looks angry a lot. And we have something in common. We both dislike Deron Williams. So good for that. Deron Williams out for the rest of the preseason. He is. Oh, God, he's such a piece of shit. Something wrong with him. Always something wrong with him. Ugh. Let's get into basketball right here. And I didn't even mention last week the whole Derek Fisher going across country to hook up with Matt Barnes' wife. I think this is just a small inkling of the soap opera we're going to get this year. Matt Barnes, a repugnant human being, then made the statement that he kicked Fisher's ass all over the place and spit in his wife's face. Good for him. He's a good guy. And the main thing I wanted to get into, though, was today is HBO Real Sports announced that Jim Dolan and Isiah Thomas are going to be doing an interview together on Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. And now Bryant took this one. He didn't send one of his flunkies. They aren't flunkies. They're all professionals. Out into the field to do it. He did this one himself. All right. He took care of it. And, you got the same old rhetoric from both of these assholes. Bryant Gumbel asked Isiah Thomas what grade he'd give himself as the Knicks tenure. Maybe a C- to a D. That's the only honest thing he said. And, of course, both of them said that Anuga Brown-Sanders lied about everything. Don't believe either of them because they're proven liars. Let's listen to a little bit of it right here.
Including calling her bitch and hoe to her face.
Never happened.
She just make it up?
I think a bunch of it she did, yes.
ESPN, against all reason, tone-deaf Dolan once again turns to Isiah. USA Today, how could Dolan possibly let Isiah near his team? Decision is repugnant.
Terrible. What do you want me to say about this?
Pure, unadulterated, complete, aloof bullshit from two men that don't have a clue of reality. But they said, I think we're going to be friends for a long time. Like Casablanca. Just, with Anuka Brown-Sanders and Eddie Curry's limo driver. Did that get settled? Worst job in the world, Eddie Curry's limo driver. I don't know if they actually disproved that. I shouldn't probably be saying that, but you want to know about being Eddie Curry's limo driver? Look it up on Google. Just touch it. Just touch it, Mike. FanDuel DraftKings this week. We're moving quick here. Just so strap yourself in. We're moving in. FanDuel and DraftKings this week. DraftKings, there wasn't just one. Los Reyes. DraftKings, their money was down big time this week after the scandal of insider trading, which, again, I still don't understand. I fully comprehend that they have the information of which things people are picking, but when you have insider trading with stocks, they know certain things are going to happen. I know. Billy told me this is the way they're going to act on that. You still have to play a game in this. It's not like they're talking to Tom Brady and saying, listen, Tom is going to throw 3 touchdowns. He told me he's going to put it right in the end zone. I still don't understand this. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's gambling, but I don't understand this scandal, so to speak. But their money was down big time this week, about 800. Let's see, DraftKings took down about 12% from the more than $25 million for its guaranteed prize pools in week 5. DraftKings had $1.7 million in net revenue, down from $2.6 million. So obviously, people are cognizant of what's going on, and they're looking at it and saying, "Whoa, what am I giving my money to?" I still don't think it's that big of a deal. Maybe I'm in the minority there. I do like how Nevada, of all places, decided that, hey, We're not letting anyone play this anymore, all right, until you get a license to operate, okay? We're taking the stand. We're taking the ethical stand. That's like the Ku Klux Klan requiring a background check. Listen, you're going to come in this. We got to know who we're dealing with, okay? We got to know. We got to know if you've been to jail or anything like that. This is a quality organization. We need good, upstanding citizens here. Hypocrisy at its finest. And what we'll do is we will end tonight. But before we end, let's talk about beer, huh? Who likes beer? We have the Jacques au Lanterne. Jacques au Lanterne. Malt beverage brewed with pumpkin and spices. This is by Evolution Craft Brewing, Salisbury, Maryland. Alcohol content 6.3. Scale of 1 to 10. I'll give it a 7. I mean, it's good. I've had better pumpkin. But as we continue our tradition in October, it's all about pumpkin. I just don't want October to end. So as we end tonight, and we're going to have to end the podcast, sorry. We have, where was I? So Mr. Bob Costas, who has done, I kept him to the end because he's done everything. Just ask him. He's done football, baseball. I think he did basketball way back in the day. He's done the Olympics. He's told us how terrible we are and how he has all the answers. So he is writing an autobiography. Only one man can write a book on Bob Costas. Bob Costas. So he's writing an autobiography. Listen, the guy's done tons of stuff. I'm not acting as if he's some sort of paltry figure, but did you have any doubt he would be writing it? He can't tell his story to another person and have them write it down. He's going to tell us how great he is. The book is expected to be published in 2017 and will be written with Mike Lupica, a sports columnist at the Daily News, which he isn't, and author of young adult novels. He no longer works for the Daily News. Boy, I don't think there's a soapbox big enough to have both of those people on the same box. They haven't even made that soapbox yet. They're calling in China, Bangladesh, and India to attempt to build a soapbox that will have Mike Lupica's brain and Bob Costas' glory on the same soapbox. Bob said, Mike has a very distinctive voice, and it's a voice I like. But if it sounds more like him than me, we haven't accomplished what I wanted, and he knows that. At the same time, you want some of the wit and bite and ability that he will bring to it. God, it makes me sick. You know why? Because I can picture him saying that. And then being like, the crisp crack of the bat from Mickey Mantle. I remember seeing the Mick, the old stadium, the smell of the hot dogs, the sight of the field, the green grass. It just made you want to be a kid. It was something that that was my essence of being a child. It was baseball, and I'll tell you why. It was pretty good, huh? That wasn't bad. That's Bob Costas. Maybe a little quicker though, maybe. But anyways, Bob Costas. Oh, Jesus. You know, he's done a lot of interesting things. So I'll probably read it. I'll try to read. What I'll try to do, I'm going to be completely honest. This is what I try to do sometimes. I will get a book, and you get it from Amazon and the Kindle, and you try to, if you can finish it in 7 days and return it, free. So I'd like to read it, know all about it, not give Bob Costas money, but say, hey, I read your book and I didn't give you a goddamn cent. Listen, you know, Americans, they don't want to contribute to good things and education. Okay. So that should be an interesting book. I'm sure maybe Bob will take some time out of the halftime of NBC when he's talking about the Redskins and whatnot and say, I have a book. And maybe it'll be really hot there and his black hair dye will fall all over his face. Man gets older, hair gets blacker. I don't know how he does it. Anyways, I want to thank you all for listening. I truly appreciate it because you don't have to listen to this, but you choose to for whatever goddamn reason. Now, I appreciate you for listening. Let's see what else. You can always listen to the show on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, and you can follow me at BrianBuck13 and follow the show at Red Ticket Blues, and you go on Facebook and you can like it. And all those other venues, rate the show, leave a review, tell your friends, tell everyone, say, hey, so next time someone's talking about a podcast, say, hey, I know this really good one where this guy just, virtually talks to himself, which is what a podcast is in general. But, you should check it out. It's really good. But next week I won't be talking to myself. Well, next show I won't be talking to myself. In the Thursday talk, we will have the incomparable Simon from Yonkers on the show. Exclusive. These opportunities don't come around very often. So I'm very happy and very grateful that Simon will be on the podcast. Simon, you will learn, is a jack of all trades. He's hysterical. He's a really, not that the people that have been on the show before aren't hysterical. I just think Simon is a lot of fun and it should be a great podcast. And if it isn't, please direct your hate towards him at SMARQS on Twitter. That is his Twitter name. So if you dislike anything that's said in that podcast, please direct it toward him. I have nothing to do with it because I will be the star of the podcast and he will be the one to mess it up. Already insulting the people before. No, I'm just kidding. Can't wait to have Simon on. So hope you all listen to the Thursday Talk. I'm out of here.